Hello, everybody. This is Vinnieart. I'm the co-creator of Through the Woods, co-creator of The Ghostly Manor on Howling Hill, creator of City of Venus, a bunch of other art projects and art books. I'm formerly a lead designer at McFarlane Toys, or I was rather, and various other companies. But tonight we're going to be showcasing our special guest, Scott Payne, and various other companies. Oh, you got to mute that. And his book, Chaotic Flux. So, Scott, say hello to everybody.
Hello, everyone. How you doing? Hey, Vinny.
Hey, bud. So we have a couple people in the chat. Hopefully, well, usually when I do these things, for some reason, they don't get notified until we're kind of 2 or 3 minutes in. So, but we have a few already. So I want to say hello to Tinfoil Hat Nick. Guys is awesome. He's the best. El Gargoyle, Gus, Gaming or What. They're all in here already, so that's cool. But yeah, we're gonna go over these sweet campaigns. We might have some other guests popping in. I sent some links out, so hold on. Let me share screen. Or actually, wait, before I do that. If you want to keep saying hello, you can. I'm gonna pull up one other campaign just in case. All right, I think we're good now. So where's my share button? And, all right. So I know we on some of the first campaigns that I was running as well, we were coming across each other and doing some streams together as well. Mm-hmm. So anyone who doesn't know what Chaotic Flux is, give them a little bit of a brief rundown on it.
Okay. Well, I should say the pitch would be that Chaotic Flux is about a team of called the Crimson Flame, made up of a bunch of ragtag warriors that come together to rid the world of these mutant abominations that are taking over, called Dread Fiends, in this dark future timeline. And there's also a dark entity called Malakar that comes into a little later. But early on, it definitely focuses on the Dread Fiends. It gets into more what they are, what they're capable of, but also focuses on Zathara for the first few issues, which she's an alien hybrid who's able to form these crystal-like, and she can form them at will. She can form them just about anywhere on her body, and she can also eventually she'll be able to make weaponry for her teammates as well. Also, she'll form this kind of armor out of it at a point. But
this is the character here.
Yeah, that's Zathara. Yeah, she's very acrobatic, very agile. Is one of her abilities as well, and she has these eyes, these red eyes with 3 pupils. They're actually slits. There's 2 above and 1 below, and those pupils allow her to focus on 3 targets at once, well as it gives her a 180 view. So it labels her to be pretty much that with the agility and of course the weapon making, a natural born warrior.
Beautiful.
And she really grows into that in the storyline and comes into her own. That's a lot of the focus of the first few issues. She's had a very rough childhood as well, where this organization called the Order of the Purging Hand has been trying to hunt her kind down for years. And early on in the story, it gets into how she begins to deal with them, when she first runs into them, and later you'll see how she deals with them to a point. And in this issue, actually, the second issue, she catches up with them again in the present time, but they're very unexpectedly different than before.
Right.
They've adapted a lot, just like she has, and that's a big part of the storyline too, is adaptation and evolution of the characters.
Yeah.
You'll see that a lot as it goes on. Everyone goes through a unique evolution at least a few times, and Zathara definitely goes through a lot in her storyline with having to deal with all this craziness going on around her, or she's been hunted down most of her life by something, and now she's running into the Dread Fiends, which are these horrific monsters that are wanting to just devour everything that they come across.
Yeah, that's wicked, man. Yeah, this book's gonna have a lot of action in it, a lot of cool stuff.
Yes, and I've designed the book that way. Actually, I love kind of adrenaline rush type stories,
Mm-hmm.
and the first issue definitely like hits the ground running and just keeps going. Uh, Except for, of course, there's a part in the middle it slows down a little bit where there's more story explanation, but that kicks back in really hard in the second half. And the second issue is also the same way. It's actually focuses on a life or death race against time, where Zathara is forced to save this family that is possibly going to become the Dread Fiend's next meal.
Oh, wow, that's cool, man. Yeah, I dig it. It looks good. Yeah, I remember the first one. I didn't get a chance to back it, especially back then too. It's everything was extra tight. But yeah, that's cool that you're doing this, and you do have an option too for the first one again, right?
Yep. Yeah. If people want to get the first one, if they missed it, or if they just want to get another one for someone else, perhaps, or if they wanted to get one to put away, you can add on the first issue as an additional perk when you buy any of the issue 2 packages.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Nice,
or perks,
man.
I should say. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's actually because, like, for instance, in this case, the issue 2 is 10, which in the old campaign for issue 1 it was 10,
Mm-hmm.
but you can add issue 1 for 7.
Oh, beautiful.
So it's cheaper this time around.
Yeah. That's definitely a good price. Yeah, because looking at all the campaigns and the ones I've been running as well, is trying to find a good balance, see what's going to work. Yeah, I did something crazy on my current campaign, but it's I hit that stretch goal. So one more stretch goal, and then we get the entire upgrade to the book.
Nice.
So,
That's awesome, man.
yeah,
Congratulations.
dude. Thank you, brother. Yeah, we'll go over that in time. But
Right.
I think first I want to hit your trailer. Take
Right.
a look at this cool thing. Sounds coming in, right?
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Good. Hell yeah, brother. That looked awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, I had a lot of fun putting that together.
Oh, sweet. Oh, you did the whole trailer?
Mhm.
Nice. Yeah, man. This is going to be a lot of fun. Cool stuff. Yeah. So, yeah, tell some more people like why they should back this book. Where's the story going?
Issue 1, for those who don't know, it does introduce Soren, who is an exosuit pilot. He fights in this exosuit called the Reaper, and it's full of all kinds of amazing weaponry. There's also Strife, who's a huge transforming AI mecha, and he can actually self-engineer and adapt on the fly. So, in the sense, whereas the Dread Fiends can adapt biologically, he can adapt mechanically. He can also turn into all sorts of things, depending on what the situation is that he needs. For instance, he'll turn into a transport ship to transport the team around in. He has a bombardment mode that he turns into in the first issue, and you'll see him turn all sorts of different things throughout the series. He'll also make weaponry for the teammates. A little later, we get Nalaria, who is a fire-based mage. Her father's name is Pagan, and he's a plant-based mage.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also Gareth, and he's a big 8-foot-tall swordsman with a giant transforming sword. And they make up the Crimson Flame.
Nice.
And so it's the main idea behind the story is kind of similar to what I was saying earlier, where it's about these characters being pushed to their absolute limits in this dark post-apocalyptic timeline, forced to adapt and become better all the time to deal with all these dark things that are happening with the Dread Fiends, the Malachar that comes into a little later. Issue 2, you see this shot right here you have of this guy in this kind of vehicle with a cannon.
Right.
That is Lieutenant Vladik, and he is a cyborg that comes into in issue 2. The Order of the Purging Hand that was hunting her down in the first issue, they've adapted themselves and elected to become cyborgs in the present to become better soldiers. And the leader is Thraxus Prime, and he's very very ruthless kind of type character. But I should say that so in this timeline, nanotechnology is very advanced, and there's I won't spoil anything, but there's something that comes later that happens to him, and it causes him to become the cyborg, and his organization turns him into this, and but they as this kind of super soldier for them, but they give him all this nanotech as well. Well, he becomes very obsessed with the nanotech and kind of starts to go crazy and takes over the organization and starts turning all the soldiers into basically cyborg slave soldiers of his own.
Yeah. So he's running it all now with his army.
Yeah, and he's got this relentless drive to find Zathara and finally kill her. Like that's his kind of. She's the last on Earth of her kind, and they started that mission a long time ago to wipe her kind out, and he just won't give up until she's gone.
Nice, man. Cool, man. Look at that. I think we had we had a backer in here already.
Awesome.
Very cool, man. Yeah. Thank everyone in the chat. You guys are awesome. Sorry if like some of my previous streams too, like I missed a few things or I missed a bunch of comments. I've been juggling a lot lately, and some of the conversations I've been having, I get so into them that sometimes I forget to look at the chat. That's why usually Ray Gay's usually here with me as well, and he gives me the reminder if I'm missing anything.
Right. Well, I commend any of these streamers that are able to keep up with all this at once. The chat and the conversation, keeping it going, and especially when you got like multiple people in the chat. It's just Yeah.
I know mine isn't gigantic yet, my platform or anything like that.
Right.
But and I'm not looking to have a huge audience. But if it starts to grow by itself naturally, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, I think you're doing pretty good so far. I mean, shit, you had freaking Cecil on. The other big names, you're doing pretty good, man.
He's cool. Yeah, I'm trying to bring like a couple more like celebrity type people in as well. I had Serena Vincent. I had the guy from Pirates, Lee Ehrenberg. Pirates of the Caribbean. He's cool. Again, these are like people that I've known or that I was friends with. Yeah. You gotta go back, take a look a few streams back. I'm working on another one, and I'm working on somebody, a friend who's in animation. He worked on Ren and Stimpy and stuff. Really good people, but
oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to schedule them in. Yeah, because you got to bring a little bit, a little something different. Since I'm not really doing characters, and I'm not Cecil is definitely, he's a character, but he's an awesome person. I'm not used to developing like I'm Joe Schmo and with a new voice.
Well, some people just do it naturally, and some people in their own way is
right.
Be actors if they wanted to be.
Yeah, although I think I'm pretty good at some impressions here and there, or making fun of people, so I do that on occasion.
Right.
But yeah, because I know I've done like the Hut and stuff like that on other streams, and I get people laughing pretty good. But let's go over your perks.
Cool.
So you have the deluxe package. Tell us about this one. You there?
Okay.
Was there a delay? I think there might have been something going on there. I'm not hearing you.
Breaking up a little bit.
Oh boy! I hope my internet holds up.
You're jumping in and out a little bit.
I'm choppy.
A little bit, yeah.
Damn it. Well, start talking about your perks.
All right. You got okay, so let's see, the first perk I would say is the $5 PDF. And let's see, then there's the book for 10. The physical copy is $10. And a nice thing about that one is you can add the first issue on. And with that in the first issue and with shipping, it's 25. So pretty good.
Okay.
And 54 pages. That gets you 54 pages of story between the two issues.
Right.
For $25. And the autograph book is 15. And then there's the metallic cover edition. I did a metallic cover for issue 1 as well, and that went really well. A lot of people love the metallic edition. It turned out great.
Oh, cool.
And I'm a big fan of metallic covers from the 90s. So I decided to go ahead and do it again with this one. If I can keep finding someone that does metallic covers, I'm gonna try to do every issue a metallic cover version. I plan to do at some point some other variants as well in future campaigns, but it's gonna be a little while before I get around to that kind of thing because it's just it's extra paying the artist to do a different version and so on.
Right. Well, I want to ask too on this metallic version. You could still buy the first one on this tier as well.
No, the metallic version. No, I just did it for the first campaign.
Okay. So the only tiers where you get an option to buy the first one, or where it's.
Oh, actually, any tier. When you go or you click on the one, it'll take you to the checkout, or just before checkout. You can then add on issue 1. All right. You can there's the PDF of issue 1 as well.
Okay. So if I wanted to if I want to get the metallic cover of issue 2, there's still an option where I can tack on like a standard version of issue 1.
Yes.
Okay. Beautiful. All right. Very cool, man. All right. So for 25, you get that one autographed. Pretty cool.
And then you come to the deluxe package. I'm sorry. Did we skip one?
Did we?
Or did we? No, I don't think we did. I'm sorry. No, we did.
That was
that was the feature one I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
But the feature one for 25, you get the PDF, signed copy of the book, 2 trading cards, and art print. And in that one, the art print is going to be of the cover art.
Beautiful. Cool stuff.
And
I'm also thinking about doing some trading cards for stretch goals.
Yeah, they're so fun, dude. And at least to me, I love trading cards. I grew up I still got tons of Marvel trading cards, and some DC and other stuff. But I love trading cards, and especially the 90s ones. And that's how I did trading cards the last campaign too. I'm planning to do a whole series of trading cards. Every campaign will get 2 trading cards, different characters. And I did it in the 90s style too, where on the back you have the little bio of the character, some little fun facts about them, as well as their their stats.
Yeah.
And so on that one, you get trading cards, and then there's the metallic deluxe one, which I see you're on now. So that one, you get the metallic cover. Let's see, what was it? The metallic cover. You get the PDF. You get 2 metallic versions of the trading cards, and then you get a metallic art print. And the metallic art print, I haven't totally decided what the art print's going to be yet. I'm still waiting to kind of see what other stuff my artists are doing.
Yeah.
Because the book's only halfway finished. But once I see all the art, then I'll decide what that one's going to be, and make that the metallic version of the art.
Yeah. You gotta pick something really, really hot to put in there.
Yep.
For sure.
Yeah, I would pick something that looks. I'm pretty sure it's gonna look good, and the metallic. So the first metallic, or the first campaign I did was it's a picture of the team jumping off of a mountain cliff, and it turned out great as a metallic print.
Cool.
And let's see, there's both covers autographed for $35.
Mhm.
So there'll be the metallic cover and then the non-metallic. And then there's the collector's pack, which that gets you the PDF, the signed book, the metallic cover, the regular trading cards, the regular art print, the metallic art trading cards, and the metallic art print.
Beautiful, man. Beautiful. Oh, real quick. I think Hardboiled keeps asking me, what are the odds I'm going to have Henry Cavill, Amy Adams, or Zack Snyder in the future? Very, very slim. Well,
That'd be amazing.
Well, all right. So when I had Serena Vincent on, she was friends with and went to school, acting school with
Wow.
Amy Adams. So
Uh,
you never know.
really? That's awesome, dude.
I'd be
Wow.
hopeful, but I think it's kind of slim. And Henry Cavill, believe it or
Right.
not, he's been spotted in the area where I live every now and then. He goes on vacation.
What? That's
Yeah,
awesome.
he goes on vacation in
I
Florida.
watch interviews with him too. He seems like a really cool dude. He might like be, yeah, man, I'll come and do the show.
Yeah, man, that'd be crazy. That'd be a trip.
Right.
But yeah, like I said, don't hold your breath though. Yeah, those are kind of long shots.
That'd be amazing.
It would be, no doubt about that. I am working on one that's been in another giant franchise, so my fingers are crossed on that. But we'll see. We'll see. But I'm not going to say anything yet because it could be a big disappointment if I don't get this person. And they'll be like, "Oh, come on, man."
You don't want to jinx yourself either.
Exactly. Yeah, because it's another really cool actor. But all right. So yeah, the $75 here. Tell us about this one.
So this is everything, plus a T-shirt.
Beautiful.
And the T-shirt's going to be of the cover art for issue 2.
Did I pass it already? I already went up and down before. I know I saw it.
Oh, you want to go higher? You want to go higher?
Yeah. I thought it was. Yeah, there we
You're in
go.
the issue 1 section. Yeah,
Very cool.
It's a mock-up I did of the shirt, but
Yeah,
that's
brother.
basically what it's going to look like.
Yeah, this book looks awesome. Yeah,
Thank you.
definitely. Yeah, this was the first one, right? Yeah. Dude, cool stuff. Yeah, anyone who's watching, yeah, check this out if you haven't already. Yeah, I'm gonna have to back this for sure. That auction night helped me out a bit too, so I've been able to buy a couple of books here and there. So yay!
It's hard, right? Like trying to decide. Oh, I really want that one. Or like, yeah, this is especially so many coming out right now.
Oh, tell me about
crazy.
it, man. Yeah, this year's gonna be huge. Yeah. That's why I kind of want to get out of the gate first.
Yeah, I kind of felt the same way. I'm like, I know there's a lot of big books coming. I better get out there.
Yeah, and I had no idea that Downcast and Cecil were gonna both be launching right out the day after I launched mine. I'm like, oh, are you kidding me? But I talked about it too with Cecil. Oh, you knew
I knew Downcast was launching on Tuesday. I knew he was launching on Tuesday because I watched a stream where he was talking about it a couple weeks ago or a week ago, trying to decide when he was going to, and he mentioned Tuesday. And obviously he did, but I didn't know Cecil was also gonna.
Well, I had wished that Clint told me too when I did the piece for him.
Yeah. Oh, really?
I got a piece on his campaign, and he didn't tell me when he's launching. I was like, okay, man, because I would have been like, I would have done at least a week earlier. But even still, though, I think with the launch that did happen this past week, dude, I think we all did amazing numbers, like right out of the bat, right out of the gate, rather. Because yeah, this was like my fastest growing campaign so far.
Nice.
Yeah, which and I'm happy about.
All that hard work is paid off, brother.
Yeah, you remember the first go around of Through the Woods. Yeah, because I had like no audience whatsoever on Twitter, and I don't even think at that point I was really on YouTube. I just did like one or two little videos just to kind of throw my campaign, and they were so piss poor because I don't do editing, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know what's going on here. And then, then slowly, like I started bumping into more people and started getting some help here and there. Well, like Red, he was a tremendous help on the campaigns with the trailers. So he did like, I think 3 trailers for me already. Really awesome guy. But yeah, you're familiar with Red Gaze, right?
I'm not sure.
Well, you will be, especially if he pops in. But I don't see him yet.
Well, a lot of people too. Like I don't because I'm a very visual person, so a lot of uh, people in the community, I I recognize their I mean their profile pic, and I'm like,
Hmm.
so sometimes when people change their profile pic, it throws me off, and
Oh
I mean I
yeah,
do go by names, but a lot of it I'll just spot their profile pic and like, oh, I know that guy, you know.
yeah, for sure. I've been seeing that too with with backers on campaigns. I'm like, I know
Hmm.
that name, or it's tricky. And then other people I have no idea who they are, and they expect me to know who they are. But it's like, well, if you're using a fake name online, and then now you're backing me and trying to write me, you got to tell me who you are.
Right?
It gets confusing. That's for sure. Yeah, because I'm on my fifth campaign now. Yeah, man.
Dang,
Yeah,
I didn't realize those are your fifth one.
last year was crazy. It was
Wow,
four campaigns and a total of 7 books.
you
And
did 4 last year?
yeah,
Wow, well that's good for me because I'm trying to do I'm shooting for 3 this year, but we'll see.
nice.
I'm like, if you can do it,
Yeah.
gives me inspiration.
Well, I'm definitely I'm looking at two, and I'm trying to fit in the third. So I got to see what my schedule is because some of my other freelance work is starting um, to take some priority here and there.
Mm,
But that's another
yeah.
reason why I wanted to push Through the Woods first, since it is completed and ready to go almost. It's just going to be. I'm still fine tuning just a little bit of stuff here and there with the printer. So because I did today, I got my proof copy of the hardcover, and the interior pages look absolutely gorgeous. The cover itself, I was looking for a gloss laminate, and they gave me a matte finish. I don't know what happened on their end, but I'm trying
Mm,
to figure that out because almost all my books now I've been doing like a gloss finish on it, and it adds a little bit of extra protection, but two, it really pops the colors so it looks like how I painted it. Um,
yeah,
and
that's
yeah,
cool.
I'm stoked on that. So, uh, but yeah, dude, these cards look great.
Thanks.
Yeah, man, very cool. Yeah, anyone watching, yeah, back it. I know I'm going to be backing it after the stream. I'm not going to do it while I'm on. I might dox myself even further. You
Yeah,
go,
and
dude.
I've talked about, on a well, anyway. So the way I've designed the story with these characters is that I'm going to build each one up kind of individually, at their own, get their backstories fleshed out and their trials and tribulations and their various things that build them up as a character. A lot of great ideas I have for each one, and then they eventually will unite as a team. Not too far off, actually. I'm not gonna like push that way out there or something, but
Yeah.
um, they just kind of depends on how much story comes to me because um, I was planning originally to do like two issues per character and then
Hmm.
unite them. But well, they kind of slowly unite through that time as well. But like when they're all together, Um, but in the case of Sathara, as I was writing the second issue, I had a bunch of story that because it was getting too long, especially like I was trying to keep it down to like a single issue kind of format, just because it was so much money up front for me to produce all those pages.
Yeah.
So I had almost a whole other book left over, after I wrote all that, because ideas were coming to me too, and also it's kind of weird for I don't know how, because do you write your stories?
Uh,
I can't remember if you write
well,
yours.
yeah, Through the Woods, I did the first draft on the
Okay.
first issue. And then yeah,
Uh-huh.
my brother changed kind of the ending. We went more ghost instead of horror. But yeah,
Uh-huh.
and City of Venus, that's all me. So, yeah, it's yeah how I
Well,
write too.
when you're sitting down writing a script and you kind of see it in your head one way,
Mhm.
but as you're writing panels and pages,
Yep.
maybe like in my case, I'm like, well, now I realize that I'm not gonna be able to fit all this on these few pages. I gotta go like twice that many pages, or but also as I'll get ideas as I'm writing. I'm like, well, I love this. I want to put that in there now, and
Yeah, and it starts to evolve the story.
yeah, and it gets bigger than you expected, and you're like, well, crap. Now I gotta do three issues, for this one story arc. Uh, but then even still, by the time I got to because I got about 80% of the third issue the script written now, and I realized, well, I'm already running out on that one, and I still got more, at least another issue. So I think Zatara's arc is going to be about 4 issues long.
Yeah. The pacing of it could sometimes they could get thrown off. In my case, when I sat down to start writing issue 2 of City of Venus. I ended up coming up with a story for a pirate book.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and
that's the other thing too. Like, I got an idea for like a werewolf series, and like came to my head, popped in my head one day. I was writing Chaotic Flux. I'm like, oh, that'd be awesome. I should do that in the future. But yeah, just
it's like, you know what the hell your brain's doing. It's like, wait, I wasn't even in that mode, and it's just and it's like coming out, right?
right.
But yeah, and that one, that was like 2 years ago where I was starting to flesh that one out. So yeah, it's been in development, and I have like half that book a little more than half that book is done. So I'm looking to make that my second campaign of this year. So it's going to be later on. I still got to get other project or other freelance stuff done first, and then I'm going back to it. But I have showed off some pages. I've shown it here and there on some other streams, and even on mine here and there. And yet people are really, really digging it. So, but City of Venus 2 is going to be after the pirate book. So anyone who's asking, I know Hardboiled, he really, really wants it. He says in most of my streams,
give it to me.
Don't worry, man. I'm not giving up on that. I absolutely love that story. And to date, this is my highest grossing campaign. It's getting closer to 16K. So I want to thank everyone who's been backing this. This is my baby from beginning to end. And the story does go places. It goes all over, man. So in that first issue, I put a lot of threads going in all kinds of directions. So one of my friends is like, so wait, which thing should I really be following and paying attention? I said, all of it, brother, all of it. So this one's gonna be a fun story. Again, a lot of my stuff it seems bleak, like the worlds or the stories are very dark, but I think they're all very gratifying reads. This one has a very big cliffhanger. And I knew I was going to come into that. I'm going to run into that wall with some of these stories, because as soon as they see the cliffhanger, they want the next one like immediately. But I think it's a form of good storytelling.
Yeah, that's how I like to write my stories too. So I know what you mean, and I love stories that do that. You know, that leave you craving for more. You know, I mean, within reason, but of course, if it ends, you want to end on a nice note. But
yeah,
definitely, when I just love that feeling of how when you load it's that much, and it just leaves you with that oh, I got to find out what happens next feeling, and and then when the next one comes, you just want to jump in.
Oh yeah, man, absolutely. Well, and that's the thing too. It's like, to do the different genres, it also keeps me highly motivated, because if I just keep myself stuck on one, I know things might drag a little bit. But if I'm kind of jumping all over the place, I think my inspiration and what I'm doing is elevated, right? So like even this one,
yeah, it's a great way of looking at it, man. I never thought of it that way, but you remind me of actually his name, Robert Rodriguez, because he doesn't. Yeah, when he used to I guess he still kind of does it, but you don't see him direct so much as he used to. But he would do Sin City, then he would go do what was it, Spy Kids, and then he jumped back to another rated R movie, but was a different style, and then he'd go back to another kids movie, and I think that was, I guess now that you say it that way, I never thought of it that way before, but maybe that was his his way of building that.
Yeah, that's a huge
that self-inspiration, but also the flexing that muscle, that creative muscle.
Right. And dude, I'll take that as a very high compliment, because that dude, the stuff he's been doing throughout his career is really amazing. And he came from comics too. I think he was a comic book artist first.
Yeah.
So hell yeah, man. And that's what I've been doing.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. He was doing his own comic books from if I remember correctly. But yeah, I'm pretty sure on that one. But so like, wow. I came out of the gate with Through the Woods. While I was working on issue 2, that's when I was actually working on City of Venus as well. A lot of people don't know that. I was jumping back and forth on both of those projects. Um, so yeah, like it helps, right? It definitely helps to be able to flex those muscles in every direction. I had a children's book that
Oh yeah.
I did the children's book right after. Um, so yeah, between my current campaign and City of Venus, it was literally 20 days I ran the campaign because it was a Halloween themed book. So, but everyone who got it, they loved it. It got fulfilled as well, like immediately.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about all that stuff. And speaking of my current book, I might as well show that.
As well.
Through the Woods, yeah, the collected edition. So yeah, this is kind of like the ultimate edition you're gonna get to this story. It's all 3 issues put together. There's a layout gallery. There is a cover gallery / pinup gallery where I'm also adding in a Kelsey Shannon piece. I'll just scroll down to it real quick, which is this one. He won the drawing competition that was on War Campaign. So I said, you know what? I think I'm gonna put it in the book. Yeah, man, he did a great job. I know Ethan keeps pushing me to make this a cover, but if I do something like that, I'm really, it's got to be a high stretch goal because doing hardcover is very, very expensive. And yeah, the book just became a hardcover since we unlocked that stretch goal because I have 2 proof copies right now, soft cover and the hardcover. So I wanted to make sure, just in case whatever happened with the campaign, you know, it was going to work out the right way. And
Right.
so yeah, now that it's hardcover, the next goal is to make it oversized. So that's going to be at 12K. So yeah, it's going to go up to 8.5 by 11. But I measured it. The cover alone, it's more like 9 inches by 11.5. So it's even slightly bigger than what I put on here. So, but I'm telling you, the interior, oh my God, blown away by it. To see the work
Really?
just a little bit larger. Yeah, you get to see every little detail that I put in there, and it's really going to add to the story, I think, or the experience reading it. But
That's awesome.
yeah,
And being hardbound and everything, that's gonna look great sitting on like a coffee table, you know?
Oh yeah, because right
like
now,
pick up and look through.
yeah, right now it feels like a European book. If you ever got any of
Really?
those, so, yeah, it's like that kind of hardcover. It's oversized because the format's different too, right? So it's a little bit wider. So I think it adds to that kind of cinematic feel of actually what my approach was on this campaign. So I'm thrilled about that.
Wow.
But yeah, I'll play the trailer that Red Gaze did up in the corner. That's his little logo. So if you see him on Twitter, yeah, definitely follow him and then follow his YouTube channel. Yeah, the Red Gaze on YouTube. Yeah, it should also be in the description. Very cool guy. He's got great content, and well, I'll show you how talented he is because he did the voiceover as well.
From Frankie and Vinnie Tartamella comes Through the Woods, the collected edition. This edition compiles the 3-issue miniseries into one solid volume for fans of Through the Woods and newcomers alike. Written by Frankie Tartamella and fully illustrated and assembled by Vinnie Tartamella, Through the Woods is an esoteric ghost story that will leave you haunted yet fulfilled. Follow investigative reporter Laura Langley as she unearths the tragic history of her newly inherited home and cabin in North Hudson, New York. This is a tale that started 100 years earlier, when this very land was a loggers' camp in the early 1900s. Laura's investigation finds her learning of her family's past and accidentally reawakens a restless spirit. Find out what else is haunting the pages of this completed series. If you missed the first campaign, this is the perfect chance to get your hands on this epic ghost story. This is the fable of an investigative journalist caught in the middle of a ghost story. A tale that started 100 years ago. Don't miss this second chance to take a midnight stroll through the woods.
So, yeah, man, I dig it. I think he did
Yeah.
he did a great job with that.
Yeah, he
And
did.
Kelsey surprised me with his own little ad for me, which was kind of mind blowing as well. This one's super short.
Back through the woods today
That's awesome.
on Indiegogo.
We'll have to do that one more time.
Back through the woods today on Indiegogo.
The music is great.
Man, me too. The grindhouse stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, man, he nailed it. That was really awesome. But oh, hey Nella. Yeah, Tarantino. Yeah, he's definitely awesome. Him and Rodriguez, they did great things together. I'm also a huge fan of Guy Ritchie.
Yeah,
think-
me too. Have you seen The Gentleman yet?
Yes.
I still haven't seen it. I've been meaning to.
Oh, you're gonna love it, dude. I really enjoyed it because it felt a little bit more like his earlier movies too, a bit, right? Like Lock, Stock.
Oh, really? Yeah, those are some of my favorites of his.
A
Yeah.
bit, yeah. I mean, he toned down the characters a bit, and it was focused more on story. But yeah, dude, it was really well done. And I don't like Hugh Grant, and I think he did a fantastic job in that.
Yeah, I was surprised he's even in there. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Of all the people.
Yeah, because he's got I think like a Cockney accent or something. But he really plays like a sleazy type of guy. But
that's cool. Well, it's good to he's trying something else for once instead of just chick flicks all the time.
Yeah, and Matthew McConaughey, I mean, he nailed it. I mean, I don't think I've seen one movie he was bad in. So
yeah, I've always been a fan of his too. Yeah.
Yeah, really good stuff. Yeah, you'll enjoy that film for sure. So
Cool.
this campaign, you could. I think I need to change this anyway, since it's not 96 pages anymore. It's 98 pages.
Boom.
Boom. 2 extra pages were added when we became hardcover. 2 more pages of artwork. So, yeah, I think you guys will dig that. So yeah, man, cover gallery. It's the completed story. It is finished. So, yeah, man. I can't wait to get this out to everyone. The thing is, like, I need to double check now with how I'm going to be shipping it, since like the size also it changes a lot of stuff. Since
You
it does
remind me
not.
of. Go ahead.
Say again?
I was gonna say you remind me of my last campaign when because of the art prints I did them. I can't remember what the size was exactly, but it was bigger than the comic, right? The measurement.
Right.
So when I'm putting in all the packaging and then when I shipped them out, I got a couple of people say they came back messed up a little bit. So then that's made me think, rethink it for this campaign. So now they're going to be the same size as the comic cover, just to make shipping easier and also cheaper, because you know how it is when you start adding goodies and then the packaging, you have to worry about keeping it all stiff and not being crushable and all that, and then of course that adds to it, and then if it becomes a package that you cannot bend, that adds a whole other price to it, and it's like, man, they just they say what is it flat rate shipping and all that, but when it starts to get all that stuff, then it's way more expensive than you're expecting.
Yeah, man, and all the prices shot up too at the post office. So things have changed, and we need to adapt to it. But because like the first go around with Through the Woods, I had tossed in like one tier out of print in it, and it was bigger than the book, and in a couple of cases, I had a little bit of damage here or there. But luckily, everyone who did back it, like, they were very cool and understanding, since it was my first campaign. But yeah, I've upped the level of everything, because the people who have been getting my stuff, they're like, oh my God, It's like a Chinese box, trying to figure out how to get into it.
Yeah,
But
that's what
hey,
they're worried about too. It's like, well, how much tape can I put on this thing before people are just like, oh, screw this, and throw it in the trash.
right. But the thing is, it's in the end, right? If you open up and it's in a perfect condition, then
Mhm.
yeah, they're very happy.
It's worth
So,
it. Yeah.
yeah, definitely worth it. And that's the good thing too, that now that this is hard, it's a hardcover. There's going to be less damaging. Well, there should be in theory. Fingers crossed.
Right.
Because like the only thing that I noticed in some stuff that would get to people in the first like 2 campaigns is sometimes on the spine you get a little bit of damage,
Mhm.
but that's just how how the post office would handle things. So that's why I really started making sure that everything was extra secure, extra cardboard. I put them in like 2 mailers, then I put it into the 3rd mailer. Yeah, that went all out like a psycho, but it worked.
Yeah.
So on this one, like it's going to be an oversized kind of more rigid mailer is what I'm looking at right now, since it has to be bigger than the book. So it's past 9 by 12 inches, since that's kind of what the book is right now.
Damn.
But anyway, for 35
book.
bucks, well, for 35 bucks, they're going to be getting a hardcover book now.
Nice.
And I'm pretty sure we could hit the 12K before the campaign's up, since I have 20 days left here, and then I'll probably hit the extension button. So just to make it like the full 60, and to give me a little bit extra time to get everything in place that I need to get in place.
Mhm.
So yeah, for 35 bucks, you're going to get an oversized hardcover, 100-page pretty much edition of this book. So you can't go wrong with that. For an extra $5, you get it signed by the writer and the artist. So my brother Frank, he's the writer on the story. So yeah, as I was saying earlier, I did the first draft on this. It was going to be more of a horror book, and when he read it, he loved it. But he goes, "Hear me out. What if we do more of like a ghost story? That way, we don't really push too many people away. Because if it's too gory, for a convention or something, parents go, oh, that's too scary for my kids." But
Yeah.
so yeah, now it's more like
that middle ground. Yeah.
yeah, right. So it's more PG-13 now. But I've been to conventions where there are kids as young as like 8 years old, 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Saw the book, wanted it, got it, read it at the show, and ran back to me, and they bought even more stuff. So I guess it's up to the parent.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well, I like my book. My book's gory, and when I've been to conventions, I'll have like if I see a kid who looks interested, because the art's very like anime style, so that usually captures young people's attention. And if the parents there, I'll explain to them, it's kind of violent. It's got some cursing. Well, actually, not kind of violent. It's pretty violent, and it's got some cursing. Is that okay? And and I'm surprised how many parents have said, yeah, they read stuff like that all the time. And, it's like, okay, cool. But occasionally get the ones that say, no, that's too much. It's like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're filling it out, but yeah, you got to make
There's
them.
a lot of open-minded kids out there, apparently. So well, of course, I was pretty open-minded when I was a kid too.
Sure.
And I was watching like Akira and Radar R films when I was 13, and
yep.
Yeah.
Well, and the same thing too, right? With they got their hands on the internet. They're watching anything that they find on Netflix or other streaming services, and a lot of it is very adult content, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, again, these are drawings, so I don't think it's that big of a deal. But
Right.
but even saying that, there is some violence and blood. I mean, you could definitely see it over here as well. And by the 3rd issue, I put a little bit of gore back into it, but it's a gratifying pages. So when you do see it, like the way we did the story, I think it's something people are going to dig, because I made sure to get like that emotional bond with certain characters from the start. So when things kind of go awry, you do get that connection with the character, right?
Right.
And yeah, so
again, this is very important too.
Oh, totally, man, totally. So
I want people to care about the characters, especially if you are writing a story that has more than one, issue or whatever, or even if you like come back to them later, you want people to care. So
right,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
and then you care about the characters too, so you want everybody to like them. And
of course, yeah. Like we're not just pulling like George Martin there with Game of Thrones. We're not just killing off for the sake of it. No.
Well, that's one thing though. I mean, yeah, he did kill just some characters early on, but I thought he did still a pretty good job with a lot of characters, building them up, and
Yeah.
then when they did finally, like Ned, for instance, uh, when he did finally, let go of the character, it added to the gravity of the situation.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
story, what
And
happened. So you were sad, but
right.
at the same time, it was like you're
Mhm.
thankful that they gave you such a fleshed out character.
Yeah, because it did benefit the entire story, and if you're dealing with families, obviously, yeah, there's going to be growth and other things that happen from that. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's definitely a great tool in storytelling. Um, yeah, but like with this story in particular, there's not a ton of characters, but the ones that are here, yeah, you definitely care for each and every one of them. You get your hatred towards the villain pretty quickly as
Mhm.
well.
That's
But
good.
yeah, I had fun working on this stuff. I mean, when you look back at like some of the butting heads, with the creative ideas of where we were going to go and where the story could lead. Um, Even after all that, like we came up with a pretty cool idea. So if this does continue to do well and people absolutely love it,
Mhm.
um, there is a story for a sequel. There's definitely a
Nice.
story. Yeah, we've been playing around with that would add a whole lot to it and bring a whole lot more action to the overall story as well. So yeah, because like I've always been into kind of like horror and ghost shit anyway.
Mhm.
So for me, it was pretty natural to jump into this.
Right.
Um,
But
but
I don't
yeah,
know
so
why you got into doing the tortured souls figures.
oh yeah, this stuff for the frog.
Natural move for you.
I think that's got to be the most grotesque stuff I've ever done.
Right.
Yeah, especially when I was in my early 20s. Yeah, I had more anger too. So to do to have things looking really ripped up and flesh peeled back and other crazy stuff. Yeah, it just kind of fell out of my head. I scared Todd, but it also got him it got him to do the second series.
Yep. So I'm thankful for that. I still
Yeah,
have a bunch
right.
of those.
Oh, awesome,
I
man.
love that series. Yeah.
I found one last year that I never had. It was one of the female figure of that line.
Yeah, the female ones were pretty rare, I think.
Hmm.
I hardly ever saw them in stores when they were
Yeah,
selling them.
yeah, because they were afraid to sell them. They don't know what people were going to say, right? If you're
Mm.
depicting a woman in a very grotesque manner like that.
I
Um,
got you.
yeah, because I
I
think
remember when what was it, the character Freak, when that McFarlane did McFarlane did I think it was like his, I don't
in the
know, fifth
Spawn.
series of figures. Yeah, the Spawn figures, the
Yeah.
Freak.
Hmm.
And remember the guy that came with a little goodie bag of like a saw and a sword and
Right.
all these things, a giant scythe. Well, uh, they made a big deal about that figure because that was some mom who bought it for, or her grandmother who bought it for their kid or grandkid, thinking it was just an innocent uh, toy.
Yeah, toy. Yeah.
And then they read the profile of the character and saw that he was a psychopath and slaughtering people and all this, and they flipped out. And that actually caused McFarlane to put a stricter age restriction, label on the
Right.
figures on. Yeah.
Yeah, he learned a lot of things the hard way, which is kind of funny. But that's also on those the people in the studio anyway, because like the two brothers who were running that place, that
Uh-huh.
was up to them. That wasn't up to Todd. That's why he didn't know all those guidelines and other stuff that had to be put in place. He was learning more of that as he went along. Like now
Right.
he's a master at all that stuff. Because I mean, even
Yeah,
like the
he's been doing
type.
it so many years. Yeah.
Well, yeah, like the type of plastic too that you use, right?
Mhm.
And if there's going to be any like texture and stuff,
Mhm.
soft plastic versus hard plastic. If it's figures that have weapons and that kind of stuff. There's a lot of like little logistics to figure out and make sure, because then it's the safety codes.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, choking hazards and all that stuff. Yeah.
So I think that's why
How
he kind
small
of
can you make a knife for a figure? Without a kid like swallowing an accident and then need to be rushed to the
exactly.
hospital.
Right, and that's why a lot of times too, it's like a lot of advertising was adult collectibles or
Mm.
you have to be a certain age. So like Tortured Souls, like they couldn't sell those to kids, and I know they
Yeah.
even had to cover some of the figures in the packaging when they put them in there. So like I had one that his
Yeah,
arms
I remember that.
yeah,
Yep.
his arms were out to the sides, almost like like he was kind of crucified ish. But yeah, like his face was so ripped up that they put a mask on the figure and then they put it in the packaging. So yeah, it's crazy how all that stuff works out. But yeah, and I think everything he's doing now, I think it's all outsourced through China. I don't even think there's real sculptors anymore
Really?
working in his studios. I could be wrong, but I know a lot of things
Wow.
changed. Yeah, he made a big change around the time when those like little Walking Dead figures came out, those smaller ones. And,
Little tiny ones.
yeah, like they took off at first. I think they were selling them at Walgreens too. Like they were what 3.5 inches or 4 inches, something like that. But a lot of people started complaining after a while too, and yeah, then sales plummeted. So then people going, yeah, go back to the standard, like the 7-inch figures you were doing, highly detailed. And he tried that for a little bit, and and he's back into it. But now, because of all the other competition that's out there, I know we're going into Toyland now, but
That's cool.
yeah.
Well, you think like when you said competition, the first one pops in my head is NECA, and like you didn't have NECA back then, and NECA's just going crazy.
You know who
All the stuff they're throwing out there, and McFarlane's got to be like, oh my gosh.
Well, you know who NECA is, right? It's ex McFarlane employees. That's why the quality is almost the same.
Well, you broke up. I didn't hear you.
No, I said NECA. They're ex McFarlane employees.
Figures.
Yeah, so like it's the guy who was in charge of all like the licensing. He took all of his contacts.
That's cool.
When he left, he took the Rolodex and he went to this guy.
Nice.
This guy who was rich and who was starting up the company, and then he got a bunch of the sculptors from McFarlane and other various places. So that's why the quality is almost the same. And I think even the factories that they use in China. I know in the beginning there was a lot of back and forth shit that was going on, and they were getting upset. But then Marvel Legends stepped up their game, right?
Yeah.
You have places like SH Figure Arts, where I think they do some of the best figures out there. If you ask me personally, like articulation wise. So that's when Todd decided to put more articulation into like Fortnite and these other Mortal Kombat, and he's evolving, which is good. But we'll see what happens, because like I saw some of his DC figures and I'm not really wowed by them. Some of them look okay, but others kind of look like
What were we talking about? The McFarlane ones he's doing?
But yeah, that he's got
the ones.
Yeah,
they're not bad. I kind of want that Batman Mecha one. I think it's pretty cool.
That one does look pretty cool.
And then the Batman Who Laughs looks pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a handful. I think that as he's making more of them, there'll be some really cool shit, and I think other ones might be like these are really kind of silly.
Yeah,
like the animated Batman looked pretty cool. And I like the eyes on that. But like that's something that should even be out of the box. To me, it looks like it should just stay in the box on a wall with your other animated, your early '90s Batman kind of shrine or whatnot. But yeah, that's just me just rambling about some of that stuff anyway. But
I think it's cool. You got the opportunity to be a part of all that. I mean, a lot of people would kill for a job like that.
Oh yeah, man.
Making action figures and stuff.
Yeah, it was interesting. Like to me, it always felt kind of like a Mr. Rogers field trip that went bad.
Really?
Yeah,
that went bad.
That went bad. So it's like in the beginning, it's like so cool, and then you slowly start to see like almost like the infighting that was happening with Comicsgate, with certain people, like certain dirt worms and all that shit. Like there was like a touch of that going on in the office, but again, it's like disgruntled employees versus the ones who will do anything for the company. It's that kind of stuff, but it's things that like Todd didn't really know about, since he was in Arizona, we were in New Jersey, so he can't oversee every little part of what was going on, there was someone who's doing really horrible stuff in there. Some guy who started like as an intern throwing out garbage, I think he caught one of those two brothers doing something highly illegal after hours.
Oh wow.
And then he blackmailed them and got an amazing office and some kind of creative position that no one knows
Shit.
what the hell it was. Oh yeah,
That's crazy.
there's so much. It's like a soap opera. It was insane.
Wow.
Then who was sleeping with who? Yeah, there's a lot of crazy shit that went down in that studio. But for the most part, like, and I know that guy who was blackmailing everyone. The employees were supposed to get like figures for the holidays and stuff like that for free, and they never received them because this guy was taking them all the boxes.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Wow.
and either he was trading them around. Oh no, it was worse than that. He was trading them around town, like using them as like bargaining items, like in the local pizzeria. Oh, I got these cool new figures. They're not even out in the street yet. And oh well, here's some free food and blah blah blah. He was doing it like that, like a bartering type thing. Then the ones that didn't move, he would sell to the local comic shop at half price.
Jeez.
And on top of that, then the sculptors and everyone would go to that said comic shop and buy back their figures they were supposed to get for free.
Wow. I wonder how much money they lost to this guy.
Dude, it was
figures and
wow. I heard after I left there though, he went to Arizona to help Todd move or something, and they said he was stealing some of Todd's personal items and selling them on eBay.
What?
Yeah, like this is Todd's this is Todd's silverware.
This is a spoon he eats his soup with.
Yeah,
goes for $500.
This is how sick certain people are, man.
Wow, that's crazy.
Dude, could you imagine?
Yeah,
absolutely insane. But
I wonder though, like if you ever became like a big time, I mean, you're already pretty well known, but like, let's say Todd McFarlane level or even like a movie star level, and you find out people are like getting stuff for years and selling it, would that be a compliment that people are buying your shit on eBay for obscene amounts of money, or an insult that someone out there is stealing your shit?
Oh my god! I don't even know what the hell I would say or do. Like, but I don't trust people to begin with, so I wouldn't even that wouldn't have happened if a guy like that came out of nowhere. Like, I'll help you move. I'd be like, yeah, go get bent. Yeah, I don't know, dude. It's insane. All of that shit's insane. But I don't think I'm famous at all. If I ever get to that level, I'd just be even more thankful to everyone who's been helping me out and pushing me. Because all I really want to do is tell stories, and hang out with cool people.
Same here.
Yeah, man. Yep. I wear my heart on my sleeve. That's just how I've always been, and that's why I'm super nice and respectful to everyone as long as they're respectful back. But if people are crooks, if they rip me off, I'm very vocal. I get very heated. I've blasted Joe Quesada a number of times for ripping me off. Other so-called professionals in the business who are fucking hacks. Like I'm not afraid to go that level. But it's usually just to either defend myself or again, if you're ripping off of someone who you shouldn't be ripping off of anyone. Period. Let's put it that way.
Nope.
Dude, be creative. Use your brain. If you don't have talent, then move on. Or hire someone who does have talent. Scumbags. But anyway, back to where we were going. I think the only tier I was really missing here was
a fun sidetrack.
Yeah. Well, I'm known for that anyway, right? But so the sketch tier, this one is you get the signed hardcover book, and you also get a head sketch where it's kind of like it's the level of detail that you see here. So this is from the first campaign. In fact, the guy who bought this one, he actually posted it, I think today or last night, and letting people know that, you won't be disappointed at all if you get one of my sketches. Currently, I'm thinking about doing it on the inside flap of the book, but I'm gonna test that out on the sample that I have and see how manageable it is too, because I don't want to hold it open too long if I don't have to, but we'll figure it out. But if not, it might be separate. I might do it on a backer board and then stick it in to the whole package. So either way, you're going to get a really cool piece. And it also depends if I get more people going, no, I want it in the book. I might just do it in the book anyway. But and then obviously the most expensive tier is the only original piece of artwork that I'm selling on this campaign is the brand new cover. It's the pencils and inks, so it is 11 by 17 board, highly detailed, rendered, finished piece. The only original artwork from this campaign for sale. That's why it's $3,000. But I'm not really expecting to move that. It's there just in case if there is a high roller who definitely wants to see my originals up close and proud to frame it. Then yeah, that option is available. If not, I might just frame it myself.
Nice.
But yeah, so yeah, and these are the some pages and pieces from the actual book. So yeah, lots of cool stuff happening with this one. Since this story does take place in present time and 100 years in the past, there's some sequences where you'll see it go to sepia when I go into the past to tell some key moments in the story. There's one particular sequence that it's very pivotal to the story. So it kind of starts off in sepia, and as you keep turning the pages, it's more color until it's like I'm sort of like pulling the viewer in from like take a look at this old image from the past, and now I'm going to kind of transport you there. That was kind of the approach to it, and I think I pulled it off pretty well. Considering the people who did get it on the first go around, they were really, really happy with it. So
that's great to hear.
Yeah, so I'm thrilled about that. So yeah, guys, back this if you haven't already. If you did, I'm just going to thank you over and over because you're awesome.
Exactly.
Let me see. I don't even know if I got anything. Nothing yet. We're trying to hit that $11,000 tonight. It'd be really great. But if not, don't worry. There's still a couple more days left. But yeah, we're going for 12. So yeah, your book. Let's see if we got any more sales for you. Well, you will after this anyway, because I think I'm going to be jumping on it. But yeah, and obviously on replays as well. I've noticed there's been a few people who popped up on my show, even though I don't have the biggest audience. I surprisingly, I do get people a decent amount of backers. So yeah, I think that's cool and awesome. But again, there's no guarantee, as you know.
Right.
it's whatever people want to do. And yeah, Ryan, you're right. F Casada. That guy's a sack of shit. I've heard other stories from other professionals too of how horrible of a person Casada really is. That they've known him beforehand too, and
really,
there's a reason why nobody likes him because he is just a sliming walking turd.
Nice.
But yeah, anyway. Thanks, Hard Boiled. I appreciate that. Yeah, the Boner King. That was the title from War Campaign. Because I elevate all the members, especially Rose.
Oh, now I get it.
Yeah, that's why they were calling me that. Which is hilarious. It was funny because when I had Leon from Pirates of the Caribbean, he's like, the Boner King. I'm like, man, I wanted to tell the story when we first met, but he didn't want to, and I don't, if I don't get the okay from him, I'm not going to tell it. But it was a funny story that was it was similar to a War Campaign thing.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty funny about how much he liked my art. So I think you guys can kind of put it together. But yeah, I'll probably tell you in private. But it was pretty cool. So yeah. Oh, hey Drew. Yeah, hail to the hardcover. Absolutely, man. But yeah, so Red Gaze also has a book that he's gonna be launching soon. This one's a novel. That he's almost done writing, but there's also going to be like an art compendium book to it.
Oh wow, that's badass.
So yeah, Narwhal did these. I'll play his trailer real quick too.
From the fertile mind of the Red Gaze comes an all-new science fantasy epic full-length novel,
The Sun Swarm.
The galaxy has known an age of peace and prosperity under the rule of the Astral Union. Its famed Astral Templars maintain order in conjunction with an aloof sect of crystal-wielding mystics known as the Disciples of Ul. These conjurers are tasked with keeping record of galactic happenings and maintaining the balance. But harmony cannot last. Something stirs beyond the borders and within. A forgotten foe will emerge to claim rule over the galaxy. Join the adventure as our heroes and villains become legend.
Yeah, so you
That's
guys,
really cool.
yes, sign up for this one. It's going to be really cool. And he's a great guy and a true talent. So, yeah, definitely check all that out. And Passion for Drawing has a really great project as well. Doom Fate. I did one of the trading cards on this one. But yeah, Passion's a great guy. I'm sure a lot of people have seen him around as well. Yeah, he's really good. This project looks amazing. He's got a lot of stuff, happening this year as well. So yeah, give him a shot.
Looks awesome.
Yeah, dude, this got very violent, very fast.
Kind of like a He-Man mixed with heavy metal.
Yeah,
style
man.
to it. It's pretty cool.
Really, really good stuff.
Heavy metal magazine.
Yeah, I drew this character too with the card that I did was based on her.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's also, it's in here somewhere. Oh yeah, this one. But he did the colors. I only did the pencils and inks. Yeah, Sim, Narwhal, Joe Ball, Vic King, Peter Gilmore, Sweens. These are some of the other great artists you'll see on this project. So yeah, definitely check it out as well. I want to give at least a little bit of love to him. Since I know I sprung it on him at the last minute. Like I said, if you want to come on, here's the link. But I guess he might be busy or doing some stuff. So, but yeah, we'll eventually get him on because I told him I'll do more of a proper spotlight. Hard Boiled asked if I'll have Micah Curtis on. Yeah, if he wants to come on, yeah, I could drop him. I could drop him a message and find out because he's got some cool stuff happening too, and I really like his artist Preston Acevedo. They got a new book that they're currently working on. And Preston has this is the good Preston. This ain't the scumbag one. His last name is Acevedo. He's got the Doc Salem book. He's got the Rockabilly Road Trip. Those are other really cool projects. So yeah, I'll definitely I'll get them on, no problem. Again, as long as they want to come on, they are more than welcome to. So yeah, I think we covered everything. Did we cover everything?
The campaign? I mean,
Campaign and random chit chat. But yeah, I mean, if there's anything else anybody wants to talk about, let us know, and because I veer off sometimes too, as we all will know. But otherwise, yeah, jump on these campaigns. There's a lot of cool stuff to check out, to sign up to. So yeah, I guess on that note, we could wrap it up. So yeah, thank everybody for jumping in on this one. I'm looking to do a few more, maybe another. Well, I might be on Tug's channel pretty soon. I think he was feeling a little under the weather, but we're gonna schedule that in. So if not this week, I think next week. Let me see. I know there were some other people I had to talk to, but anyway, it'll be popping up, and keep an eye out for me too if watching EVS or anyone else's stuff, because yeah, he's given me a nice push recently on Through the Woods. So I'm very grateful, very thankful. He's a cool dude. Everyone involved has been great. And if you missed my previous streams, like the Cecil one right now, I think is like kind of breaking records for me. It's like the highest viewed one on my channel. But again, I also have like that kind of celebrity interviews. I have a good friend of mine who's a legend in the martial art world, Grandmaster Bram Frank. If you want to check out his knives, it's also on that stream in the description, so you could click over and take a look at his website. We're supposed to be working on an Indiegogo for him, but it's when his schedule is more free. Yeah, so and yeah, definitely subscribe, ring the bell, follow us both on social media. Scott, what's your social media that they could find you on?
Let's see, my Twitter is excuse me. Hang on.
Yeah.
Sorry, my wife was talking to me. My Twitter is at FluxChaotic, and then you can find me on Instagram at ChaoticFlux1. On Facebook, I have a page. Sharp Edge Comics is my production company, and then there's also SharpEdgeComics.com. And at SharpEdgeComics.com, you can actually find a lot of stuff, more info on Chaotic Flux, more artwork, as well as a 10-page preview. The first issue, I'm going to add a 10-page or more preview of the second issue on there soon. But yeah, there's lots of great artwork and stuff on there from the comic, and more like character bios and all kinds of fun stuff.
Dude, that's awesome, man. Very cool. So yeah, people check that out. I'm Vinnieart, pretty much on all social media. My Facebook, I've got a couple of those. I have Mela Art World. I also have Vinnieart rather. So yeah, check that stuff out. My links are pretty easy to find too, especially if you go on Twitter. I think I got everything there. I'm Vinrock on DeviantArt if people are still checking that out. I have an art station as well. So yeah, lots of different places to find us. But yeah, for the most part, what you're here for is to hear a great conversation, but also to support these amazing books. So jump on it. We could all use your help because without you guys, we can't do this whatsoever. So
Exactly.
I thank everyone again.
It's all about the fans.
Absolutely, man. And they are all fantastic.
Exactly.
So remember, guys, be kind to one another, but also keep kicking ass and be creative. Have a good night.
Good night, everybody.